I'm Melissa McCommon, also art by Melissa M online.
And I'm Liz Granado, aka M Puzzle Girl on Tumblr and most online, though I also go by art by Liz Granado on Instagram.
So we're here today to do a report for AnimeCons.com to talk about SAC Anime Winter 2019.
Woo!
I'm Shiva.
I'm Sketch.
And on this episode of AnimeCons TV, we're going to Katsucon! Woo!
This week I'm reporting on East Bay Comic Con. It's a comic convention that is held in the East Bay. By East Bay I mean the eastern border of the San Francisco Bay. So it's northeast of San Francisco, it's north of Oakland, and south of Sacramento. It's held in Concord, California. And last month, Svet and Caden and I went to Gallifrey 1. It's a Doctor Who convention held over President's Day weekend in Los Angeles at the LAX Marriott. So if you're flying in LAX, take the hotel shuttle, you are there.
If those of you who have been following our podcast for a while may recall, about 2 years ago I did a report on the convention Star Wars Celebration that was held in Orlando, Florida. Well, there was another Star Wars Celebration this year. It was 2019, and it was April 11th through 15th, and held in Chicago, Illinois, which, interesting choice of venue. Normally it's been Anaheim, California, Orlando, Florida, and in Europe as well, and this was a very different location.
I'm Shiva.
I'm Sketch.
And it is Easter weekend, which means only one thing.
Eggs.
No.
Oh.
Well, yeah, eggs. And Anime Boston!
Ah!
Woo!
We're approaching the end of summer here in the Northern Hemisphere, so you know what that means. It's time for me to once again do an Otakon Con report.
And I'm here to talk about SAC Anime Summer 2019. Now,
Anime Next was once again June this year in 2019. It was held once again at the Convention Center in Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Look, I'm Shiva.
I'm Sketch.
And AnimeCons TV is going to Dragon Con!
Can you believe it, guys? We're actually at our last convention report of 2019. We've gone through the year and we've gone to a lot of conventions, done a lot of stuff, seen a lot of things, and we're now at the last report. For me, it was Anime NYC this year. It was November 15th through the 17th at the Jacob Javits Center in New York City.
And so I'm going to talk about the advantages of small conventions. First, the costs are lower. You can get, at a smaller convention, they're taking up less venue space or less hotel space, and so it costs them less to rent this venue, which means their costs are lower, which they can pass that savings on to you. If this smaller convention is close to your house, it's cheaper travel. You don't have to get on a plane and fly across the country to go stand in line and waiting to get into Hall H or something. No, you just drive an hour or so and you're at this convention. Another big advantage of small conventions is they're more intimate. The crowds are much less because obviously they're smaller conventions. Rather than something with 100,000 or 50,000 or even 10,000 people, you're looking at a few hundred people. And so that means that for the guests that are there, you get more face time because, you know, they're there for a 3-day weekend probably. And so that means that if they're at a large convention, you pay for your VIP pass, you'll get maybe a picture, an autograph, and that's all you see of them, maybe their panel. But at a small convention, you may pass them in the hallway, they may be hanging out, just, you know, wandering around, you can talk to them and interact. And so it's definitely, if there's a guest going to a small convention, check that out and you'll get more interaction. It's also easier to meet up with friends. Because the convention is cheaper, you can probably convince more of your friends in the area to go and hang out for the weekend. It's also easier to meet new people because at a small convention, you're going to see a lot of the same faces over and over. You may be going to the same panels, you may be in line for some event, the lines aren't going to be as long. And just, you know, hanging out and enjoying the convention, you're going to see a lot of the same faces. So it's a lot easier talk to people and say, oh yeah, I like your costume, you like that show too, and you can get more interaction. Whereas a large convention, you'll see the person once, say, oh great, can I get a picture? Might talk a bit, then you never see them again. Also, small conventions are better starter conventions, so if you haven't been to any conventions or many, check out a small one, put your toe in the water, see how it is before you jump in to some large 10,000 plus event. You're supporting a small business and a local business, and that's always a good thing. A lot of larger conventions, especially those that are held in multiple cities, are run by a corporation that's located somewhere else. But if you're going to a small con, it's probably run by people in or near the place where that convention is located. And so it's helping your local business and helping a small business. And small cons need your support.
Waiting for how long now just to get out of the car?
3 hours? 4 hours?
No, literally 40 minutes.
Oh my god.
They have one guy with a cart. We're not allowed to not use the cart.
There used to be one car in front of us. Now there's apparently 2 cars in front of us.
There have been people in front of us waiting for a cart for at least 20 minutes.
Yeah. I don't know what organization is.
And then a bellhop just asked us if we wanted to take a taxi out of here.
Yeah, actually, yes.
This is what we're bringing out of the convention to go just on a joyride into the city. Poor Sketch, waiting hopelessly in line with nobody helping. These poor people in front of us have been waiting forever. All of these people, still 0 bellhops. We did eventually get a cart, and I am happy to report that this was probably the lowest point of the weekend. And I do have to point out, this is the Gaylord Hotel. This is not the convention itself with their poor planning. However, Gaylord, get your act together. You've done this every single year for quite some time. There's no excuse for this.
So, as I mentioned, the panels were big demand, like the big premiere panels. My girlfriend and I were lucky enough to get win the lottery and go to the episode 9 panel, premiere panel, which, of course, amazing to be at and be in the room as the for the world premiere of the trailer. They did some really interesting stuff for line. It was, in the arena across the street from the convention center, so you had to go outside and. As we would find out, Chicago in mid-April is still a little chilly. But for people in line, they were giving away winter hats that had the episode Roman numeral for 9 on them in Star Wars font to help people keep warm. They also had a McDonald's trailer truck set up that was just giving out Happy Meals, and these were, I kid you not, Star Wars Celebration branded Happy Meal boxes with it was just a hamburger, not even cheeseburger, hamburger, and apple slices and some warm fries, in there, and just keep people warm. But the line kept moving, so you barely even needed it. But it was still a neat little treat, and because you're going to it, it adds to this experience. I checked out their game room this year. And it felt like a typical game room. I mean, there's not a whole heck of a lot to report there. One thing I will say is that I finally, after years of seeing them at conventions, I finally got to try the Gundam Pods game, which is something I've been wanting to do for, feels like forever. And the company that I think kind of moves them to different cons only has 4 of these. And they take a little time, so there's almost always a line. This year, I actually said, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to check this out. I'll go to the game room first thing Sunday morning, as soon as they open, and make a beeline for the Gundam Pods, and I'll get to try it out. I was number 5 in line. So I still had to wait, but only, maybe 10 minutes at most. And it was worth it. I wasn't in the first wave, but it was worth it for 10 minutes. When the line's longer, I'm not sure it's really worth it because I want to check out other stuff at the convention. It's not a priority. So I'd say if they're going to be coming to another convention, make sure you get to the video game room or wherever it is early and get in line early and then go do other stuff. Unless you have like a huge chunk of time to kill, don't waste your time waiting in line for the Gundam pods. But again, they were still fun.
We're in line for David Tennant. Goes all the way around the building. How long did we walk? Like a mile.
If we had known, we would have gone left instead of right. It would have been a shorter walk.
So we're gonna see how we do. They're not usually this bad for a big celebrity like this who doesn't come here very often. We kind of have to take our chances. See how we do. Wish us luck. So they went by us with the clicker and they didn't make us go away. So it's a good sign.
Things are looking up.
We did make it in to see David Tennant, and we were like 3 rows from the back, but we were there. And it is possible to get closer. I mean, for Patrick Stewart, I was 3rd row, but I'm also obsessed with him and was willing to waste half my day waiting.
Sure, anything. And the chair's great. Look at that! That's a health and safety nightmare. Tommy, with your eyes. Come on, let's do it. We can race. You ready? Set. I see why Dragon Con's the best con.
Welcome to AnimeCons TV. My name is Doug Lauda. I'm here with Toru Furuya-san, who's had a very long career. We're going to just ask a couple questions, and this is very exciting for me.
Oh, thank you. Nice to meet you.
Okay. You have portrayed many noteworthy characters over a very successful career. Who do you get most recognized for? And does it change depending on where you go or who you speak with?
古谷さんは今まで数々の有名なキャラを演じてきましたが、最も多く、結びつけられるキャラクターは誰なのでしょうか。そしてそれは行く場所によって、結びつけられるキャラクターが変わったりするのでしょうか。
そうですね、もうだいぶ世界中行って25カ国ぐらい行ってますけど、北米の場合は、やっぱりドラゴンボールのヤムチャ、それから、セーラームーンのタキシード仮面がとっても人気です。で南米だと圧倒的にセイントセイヤのセイヤですね。アジアだと、最近僕がやっている名探偵コナンのアムロ・トールとかが人気ですね。それから、ヨーロッパは本当に北米と似てると思いますけど、でもセイントセイヤもすごく人気で、もうセイヤ、それからヤムチャ、タキシード仮面が人気ですかね。でワンピースのサブはもう世界中ですね。はい。
So I actually think I've been to around 25 countries at this point, and I've been associated to in the North Americas. I've been associated to characters like Yamcha from Dragon Ball, and Tuxedo Mask is also something that I get a lot to. In South America, interestingly, it's Saint Seiya. I play Seiya, and that's the character that I get associated with in South America. And Europe is much similar to Europe, to South America and North America. It's a mix of Dragon Ball and Saint Seiya. In Asia, we have Amuro Toru that I play in Case Closed. And Sabo from One Piece seems to be universal.
Do you remember the first convention you went to outside of Japan, and what was the experience like?
初めての海外のイベントのことを覚えていらっしゃいますでしょうか。どこのイベントだったんでしょうか。そして、初めての、海外イベント、どのような、感想だったのでしょうか。
2006年に、アニメエクスポ、アナハイムで開かれた、それに参加したのが初めてで、 オープニングセレモニーで8000人ぐらいのすごく広い会場で、僕が自分の演じたキャラクターのセリフを言ったらみんながそのキャラクターの名前をわーって言ってくれてカルチャーショックでした。びっくりしました。アメリカでこんなに自分のことが知られているっていうのはすごい感動しました。
So this was back in 2006 in Anime Expo hosted at Anaheim. So that was at the opening ceremony when, in front of 8,000 people, I did the voice of one of the characters that I played. And when I did that, that crowd of 8,000 shouted back at me at the character that I played. So that was a culture shock for me. I was very touched with that.
In many of your works, besides Gundam and beyond, you kind of show that war is a very horrific event that creates a lot of suffering and stuff, but at the same time, war often brings kind of innovation to technology, and technology springs ahead because of research during the war effort. Do you ever feel that you try and reconcile those through that complicated idea that even though there's horrible events, there's great innovation happening through technology?
監督の作品ガンダムに限りなく戦の無誤さと戦がどれほど恐ろしいかをよく語りますけど現実の個人的な意見ですけど現実の戦とか戦争ではその技術の発展とかいろんな発展研究が行われて発展される面もあると感じてますけど監督ご自身はどう思われてやっぱりその面も作品に含めようと思ったことはありますでしょうか？
基本的に技術が、平和利用例えばダイナマイトというのは、鉱山の仕事から楽にするために発明された道具だとか火薬だったはずなんですけれども結局戦争に利用されてしまいました。技術というのは基本的にそういう性格を持っています。
I actually think it's almost the opposite in that I feel that there's more technology that was invented for useful things and in times of peace that were then turned around and used in warfare instead. For a great example that is dynamite. It was first developed to help make mining more efficient, and yet all of a sudden we turn around and they're using it on the battlefield. So I actually think it's the opposite.
ですから戦争というシーンを扱って物語を作る場合にたとえ子供向けのものでもあっても、ハッピーエンドに終わらせるという戦闘シーンを描くことができませんでした。
And thus, I feel that even in stories aimed for children, if I were to incorporate some sort of conflict or war in it, that I could not depict a happy ending because that's not what happens in real life.
もちろん巨大ロボットものというジャンルが始まった頃に、子供向けに純然たる、娯楽としての戦闘ものもやってみましたけれどもその仕事を5年ぐらいやりましたかね。で結局そういうものに飽きた結果が僕の場合には機動戦士ガンダムという作品になりましたので、基本的にもう子供向けに作るということ自体を嫌になったっていうのは本当にでした。
So, in fact, when the giant robot genre really kind of came into being in Japan, it was truly a purely entertainment medium for kids. But even though some of these projects involved war, and I had about 5 years in the field of working on such things, I just got tired of it. But on the other hand, because I got tired of it, that ended up resulting in Gundam. So, but I just didn't want to keep making things for kids that were war that was supposed to be purely entertainment.
Get this, guys. I only made 6 costumes.
That is like blasphemy.
It's 6 times 6. It's only 6 more than I made.
All right, Patrick's gonna talk. Be quiet when he's talking, okay?
All right. 3, 2. Welcome back to AnimeCons TV. We're here for our annual predictions episode. We've got a special guest here joining us. Maybe he's got some predictions.
And I'll go that way.
Go that way. That should be our 2009-2019 side-by-side right there.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
Mama, do it.
That is perfect timing.
It's in the box.
I was gonna say.
That's awesome. Yeah. Oh, some num nums.
Ooh, nummy num time for Kaden.
Watch where you're going, buddy.
There's a lot of stuff in here. Oh, Kaden got an owie on the table.
The end.
The end.
All right.